All right, so we have Michael here today, and Michael's been in Japan for about
4 year, yeah.
4 years.
Already
Oh, wow.
4 year, yeah.
Long time. So, tell us a little bit about yourself, Michael. Where are you
Okay.
from? What do you do?
Yeah, with pleasure, with pleasure. So, hello everyone. My name is Michael. I was born in Italy. I'm come from a small town in the north side of Italy. Basically my first approach to Japan was in 2015, summer 2015 for vacation. One of my best friend, Japanese guy, has been studying my high school in Italy. So back then, my dream was to come to Japan. Was to come to Asia, not necessarily to Japan.
Okay.
So for many reasons, I came to Japan in summertime. My first approach was in Shibuya, so that's where we are at this moment.
When was this again?
2015.
15, okay.
For
And-
vacation.
For vacation.
Yeah.
And were you working? You said you were in school?
I was still. Here we go.
テーブルチャージバケット
あ、はい。
お通しです。はい。
すいません。ありがとうございます。
した。
All right, cheers.
Cheers. First the beer. I was living in Italy and working for an Italian firma back then. So when I approached to Japan the first time, of course, I met a girl who basically one of the reasons why I came here later on in 2020.
Okay.
I would like to say sorry. I would like to say that's my primary reason for me to come to Japan, but it was also the desire to challenge the culture, the Japanese culture, basically. So yeah,
When you say challenge, what do you mean by that?
challenge because I think Japanese culture, and talking about Japan, I want to refer to Japanese culture at 360 degrees. So language, culture, the way to make new friends, the way to work in Japan. So everything is one of the hardest and biggest challenge that maybe a Western or even another Asian.
That's
can
an
approach.
interesting thing because most people when they come to Japan, like myself, it's my love for Japan started with video games and then became manga, and that's how I first got interested. And I think that's quite common a reason why people come to Japan. But for you, you were not a fan of any of that.
Well, of course, I will lie if I say no, I don't like anime, I don't like gaming at all. Of course, I have an interest for that, but
Yeah.
it's not the primary reason, for sure.
すみません、ありがとうございます。Okay.
So yeah, I have that interest, but as I said, not the primary reason. I think the primary reason for me to come to Japan was to challenge the culture, was of course to try to dig inside, because
You did tell me that coming to Japan was a big challenge, but why? Because to me, if I was from Italy, South Korea or China or any other Asian countries, East Asia or Southeast Asia, they all sound pretty intriguing to me. Why Japan in particular?
because it's unique. It's unique culture. I think you can search any country, you can compare any country, you can compare any other culture, but nothing is quite similar to Japan. Japan is very unique.
Like, what about Japan is so unique?
Well, I would say the way they work, the way they communicate,
Yeah.
also I would say everything. There is not a specific detail I was into. I think everything was for me a huge challenge and something I want to really face with all my art.
And tell me about your first job. How did you get your first job here? Did you speak Japanese when you
No,
came to
nothing.
Japan?
I start to learn Japanese basically from scratch,
All right,
from
very
ground
good.
zero. Even now, I do not own a JLPT or any certification.
So 2020, when you arrived in Japan, how good was your Japanese?
Zero. Basically zero. I could barely read the hiragana and katakana. So yeah, it was difficult. It was a really difficult approach from zero because many of the other students in my class, they had already some, preparation on the language.
You're
For
taking
me,
classes, right?
I was taking classes, so like everyone, who was my best friend? Google. Google was my best friend generally. Searching for a school which was good. I've approached two different schools when I came to Japan.
Yeah.
The first one I approached was more, focusing on grammar. So the main focus was to get the JLPT.
Sure.
The second one was more conversational.
When
say,
you
more
before
practical.
before coming to Japan, did you have any job prospects or leads?
Well, when I came to Japan, I didn't have any job. I quit my previous job in Italy, so I came in Japan basically with only my savings, basically all the money I've saved from the previous job.
Just like how I got started.
Yeah, basically just like you. So,
Do you mind telling in the camera how much saving did you?
to be honest, I don't remember.
Was it like? I guess the question is, how long could you have gone on without
working and studying only? I think basically 6 months, 1 year.
Oh, that's
approximately.
6 months to 1 year. That's pretty.
Yeah.
Okay.
I try, to have a plan B in case
Sure, of
the
course,
things
of
that
course.
didn't work. So
course.
I came with some savings, of course, because of course I wanted also to enjoy in Japan. I didn't
Yeah.
want to leave only to study Japanese. I want to, of course, enjoy, like everyone, I guess.
Absolutely. And how did you find your first job here?
Well, the first job, it was kind of, my current job actually, it was kind of unique.
Okay.
Long time ago, I'm talking about basically 2018, I met a woman who is my current boss in my current company.
Where did you meet her?
I met in a fair. It was like designing a product fair in Italy.
In Italy, okay.
We exchanged a business card. And we just have a casual conversation, like, Japan is cool. One day I really would like to come to Japan.
Right.
Well, that day has come, basically. When I came to Japan, I wrote her an email. We met for a coffee, so very casual meeting. So that meeting turns into an interview, somehow.
Yeah.
We met, I think, 5 times. So our casual meeting became like 5 times interview. Of course, my previous experience helps because I have the same experience in the same industry for other market, but same experience.
Oh, yeah, we didn't
whatsoever.
talk about your experience. What's your professional background?
My professional background, basically, I've been done. My previous job was on sales, more specifically business development manager for. Arigatou gozaimashita. More specifically for North European countries. So I was.
Good.
It's a torture, like having an interview and looking at you eating in front of me.
I'm gonna keep on talking.
It's terrible.
So, yeah, go on.
So yeah, I mean, I had the same experience, so that helps, of course. What I couldn't do with language, my previous experience compensate with.
Now, my question was, she decided to interview you, but she knew that you spoke zero Japanese.
Yeah, of course, that was one of the first things I
Interesting.
told her. Definitely, she could speak. She can speak. I mean, she's still alive.
I mean, construction industry here in Japan is very traditional,
Yeah,
predominantly Japanese. I don't think there's any foreigners. Have you ever worked with any non-Japanese people?
I mean, as a client, yeah, I had some Japanese. I mean, not Japanese clients, but on the other side, like doing sales. No, I don't think I ever met
Sales,
any other foreign people here in Japan
Gotcha.
working for a very Japanese company.
And how do you work with them? I mean, they don't speak English, they don't speak Italian. How do you work with them?
I mean, my boss, of course, as I referred before, she can manage to speak English, but all my colleagues, and I'm talking about a team with 20 people,
Yeah.
they are all native Japanese, and that's it. No English except some words, like basic words. So I think for me it was a huge challenge, but I believe even for them was a huge challenge. Like, they are working with a Gaigokujin, and I think it was like the best way to describe our meeting was like Columbus and the Native American people. I think that was the best way to compare
Okay.
our first approach together. It was. I mean, it's still unique because we are discovering each other day by day.
And
They're-
it's been 4 years since that happened.
Yeah,
right?
basically, yeah. So it's a huge experience.
I know this is probably the most interesting part that everyone wants to hear, but we're hungry. Michael's hungry. Wait for us in part 2. I'm gonna stop the camera.
Stay tuned.
It's some food. Stay tuned.